Yeah, Danny.
This is our PIA about the baking industry. The following project contains the supply chain specifications of a company that pertains to the food industry, more specifically the bakery industry. The chosen firm to work with in this project is the world's largest bakery company, BIMBO.
Okay, industry background. The Spanish brought from Europe that which not grow naturally here in Mexican soil, which is wheat. Historians have marked the year 1524 as the beginning of bread and baking as we know today. For hard data, according to the Cámara Nacional de la Industria Panificadora, the annual consumption per capita of bread here in Mexico is at 33.5 kilograms. 70 to 75% of those 33.5 kilograms is white bread. The baking industry is also the third largest employing industry in Mexico. Speaking of BIMBO, here in Mexico, it is the largest enterprise in the baking industry, and for not only its volumes of production, but also its sales. Also around the world, the company has a total of 167 manufacturing plants, 1,600 sale points around the world, and presence in 22 countries. For market indicators, the indicators of the baking industry seem to be growing at a very good rate. The baking industry market size recorded for the year 2020 was that of $397.90 billion US dollars. The production scheme BIMBO uses is a linear type.
The industrial production of bread comprises different procedures, methodologies, and techniques for the transformation of raw materials. It is a very specific process, just as home bakery, in its precise measurements, machinery, and equipment. In addition to the different specifications that the baking and bread industry should follow, they need to have different operational processes to optimize their internal activities. There should be great manufacturing practices focused on the right hygiene, control in the whole production line, and constant maintenance of their machinery and equipment. There should also be a control of their temperatures and humidity of both the working area and the storage area. It is important to also have a control of the raw material, having a constant and obligatory quality control and check before, while, and after they are stored. Industrial bakeries need specific areas for the production, such as the area where the raw material will be stored, waiting area, mixing and kneading machinery, shipping materials, and an area for fermentation, baking ovens, cooling area, packing area, and the storage of their finished products. All of these areas should be separated by specific distances because of the different and specific temperatures they need. And their production lines should be ventilated and need to be an adequate to prevent humidity and have a very profound cleaning. Each baking and bread company has different supply chains. Even so, they can be summarized to a chain where they produce products and that they can be used for trade or not. And they can go either national stores or they can be sold internationally.
Okay, now the operative programming plan, the baking industry. We can start with the supply chain. The supply chain of the company BIMBO is effective and efficient. And through this process, the start from the plant, the selection of raw materials, the transformation of the products, intermediate operations such as supply and regulation of factories, marketing, distribution, sales, and design has been consolidating its planning and organizational process, which allows the company to be a market leader. In this process, we can see included the supplier relationship process, the order fulfillment process, all of this with the purpose of adding internal value to the company. Next. Okay, now managing. They have a homogeneous management model where management and corporate functions are unified. Grupo BIMBO currently has a management model based on the universal principle of world-class quality, which has been implemented in all its operations. It consists of 4 stages, which are planning, or organization, direction, and control. Okay, packing. This process is carried out in the final part of the company's production process. Mexican bakery Grupo BIMBO announced that it has begun to use degradable polyethylene packaging in its products, making it the first Mexican company to use this environmentally friendly material. Next. Distribution channels. BIMBO uses an intensive distribution system since it has greater coverage and less control over distribution. BIMBO has 34,000 routes which guarantee that the product arrives on time, which are distributed in 17 countries around the world. BIMBO has established 13 plants in the United States, 13 in Latin America, 4 in Central America, 1 in Europe, and 1 in Asia. Thanks. Okay, now the planning project. At Grupo BIMBO, meetings and specialist sections are held between groups of supervisors to ensure correct decision making. Within the company, there is an electrical mechanical system for communication between transporters and suppliers of the product. Next. Okay, now BIMBO's operating process. Okay, first we have the goal setting process, which for this type of goals, BIMBO always proposes a sales analysis of each next quarter, in which it analyzes from sales issues to social impact. Based on that, a production estimate is made in which one of the most important characteristics is to achieve the necessary quality level and for which the bakery company has always been characterized. Next. Okay, now production process. This facility has 4 production lines with a capacity of more than 45,000 tons per year and a workforce of more than 500 employees. Now the production process, first step is weighing and dividing of raw material, then sponge mixing, then sponge fermentation in trucks. The fourth is mixing of masses, then modeling and depositing in sweet potato molds. Next, sweet potato fermentation in steam chamber. The next one is bread baking. The eighth one, molding of bread. Ninth one, bread cooling. The next one is metal detector, bread slicing, bread packing and tying. And the last one is bread coating. The distribution process. BIMBO uses an intensive distribution system since it has greater coverage and less control over distribution, focusing on maximum market coverage. BIMBO always tries to have the production available at every point of sale where potential customers will be. BIMBO has 34,000 routes which guarantee that the product arrives on time, which are distributed in 17 countries around the world. Now, the sales process. Regarding the sales process, sales traditional customers are on cash basis. BIMBO arrives suppliers and collects. The customer has two assurance with BIMBO. The first is that he knows that if a product does not sell, BIMBO will change it, which is a very important sales strategy and gives